Hi everyone, so I've not vlogged in a little while, mainly due to my two little friends here and here. It seems that the coronavirus diet is it's not doing me any good. We're on day, I have no idea anymore, of lockdown. Yesterday, I believe they saw like a small fall in cases in England, but whether that's going to continue or not, I'm not sure. I think everybody is at a point where like every day merges into another day and we're not really sure what day it is. So if you're not sure, it's Tuesday today, and it is the 7th of April, and it's yeah, it's an interesting time. And yet it's also an extremely tedious and boring time. I am kind of like I know that I've got a million things that like I need to do, but I'm kind of like I either don't want to do them, or like I'm doing them but for like 10 or 20 minutes, and then I'm getting bored and doing something else for 10 or 20 minutes, and yeah, it's starting to get to a point where it's really difficult to have conversations with people, even like through FaceTime and stuff, because what are we doing that we can talk about? Not a whole lot. Everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's, you know, well, hopefully everyone is in the same boat and they're trying to stay indoors, and, you know, not have big public gatherings and things like that. And so no one's really got anything to say to each other. So it's, yeah, I'm finding it's making it really like, what have I done today? Well, I got up at about 9:20, and basically I've pretty much eaten, drank, not alcohol, unfortunately. I've done a little bit of reading. I've watched like a film, sort of had some garden time today for myself, so I sat in the garden for a little bit. I had a chat over the fence to my neighbour, which really consisted of coronavirus talk, because there's nothing else to really talk about. And I've done a little bit of crocheting and crafting like earlier on. As you can you see on the sofa just there, that is my blanket, which is almost finished. But where I was actually sat, there's now a cat, because I got up, and she has been there all afternoon, which has meant that I really don't want to have to move the work, because I've got it all into like a nice comfy position and a comfy way to work, because, you know, if you're a crafter, like the bigger a project gets, the heavier it gets, the more like cumbersome it is to move it around. And so I don't really want to go over there and move it again, so it's meant that I'm relegated to the stall with the cat blanket on it for most of my afternoon, and yeah, so I haven't really been doing much. Today is the first day in, excuse me, a couple of days that I've actually got dressed properly. And yeah, it's sort of I'm feeling a little bit like all of the hard work that I did in the lead up to this has all kind of fallen down around my ears, really. I'm finding it really difficult to contemplate the idea of leaving the house on my own again, and actually, you know, even just going for a walk, you know, it just seems like it's an awful lot to try and do, and so I'm tending to not. I haven't gone for a walk. I haven't really left my flat, you know, for 2 and a bit weeks. And yeah, it's all those old insecurities that have sort of started to creep back in. So I think when we get to the other end of this and they do start to relax, like the going out and things like that, I think I'm actually possibly going to find it quite difficult and quite scary. So yeah, it'll be a challenge again, and obviously I want to try and go back to the gym when they reopen the gyms and stuff, because this sitting around is making me so tired. I know I could do an exercise thing at home, but I just always feel like there's stuff in the way, or I'm going to fall over the cat, because that will be the one time she wants to be awake and up and in the way. So it's just, I guess at some point I shall get that thing here and use that a few times a day. But at the moment I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not. And I've kind of used this as an excuse to eat badly, which never ends well, because you end up, look at those, they're really sore. And yeah, it just doesn't end well, does it? It doesn't make you feel good, but you think it will at the time. So yeah, it's and I'm also facing the prospect, I would say realistically, that I probably won't get to see my mum or my dad on their birthdays this year, which seems so bizarre, so strange a thought, because I've always spent their birthdays with them, like, or at least, you know, sometime around then, but with things where they are, it doesn't look likely that that will happen. Yeah, so it's definitely different, and it's yeah, I don't know, it's odd. It's like there's a silence across like just across the world, really, like because because we're all trying to do the same thing to try and stop as many people contracting COVID-19 as possible. I think it probably will have done me good to have spent some time on my own in my flat, because I kind of will have completed some project work in progresses, which as a crafter you always have. So yeah, I guess it will have helped for me to have done another, maybe a few of those. Although again, it's looking unlikely, that I think this summer's going to be a very different summer. We don't really know what to expect. But I guess I just wanted to say hello, really, and to my friends out there, like, if you need to talk or you just want to text or whatever, then I'm here. Like, I may be struggling, but I think everybody is, so it's important that we're all there for each other. Yeah, so I think just we've got to keep smiling, keep going, keep believing that there will be an end. It may not quite be in sight yet, but it will be, hopefully sooner rather than later. I haven't watched the news particularly today. I don't know what I don't know whether we're managing yet to flatten the curve. I suspect not just yet, but I hope that it won't be too long until we do, and then we start seeing it go in the other direction and become less and less. And I guess on a final note, like, I don't think it matters who you politically vote for in this particular scenario. For me personally, I think we need to be thinking more humanistically, more about people, more about each other than political parties. And it's very easy when you are so passionate about something, because I have lots of friends who are very passionate about politics and things like that, and it's oh so easy to get kind of blinded by their political job, a person's political job, rather than the fact that they are a human being and they have a family or whatever. And I guess, yeah, I find it very sad when people are saying horrible things about anybody who is sick, regardless of their political persuasions. So, that's just my thoughts on it. That's just my, I wouldn't want to see anybody, if I could cure the world like that, I would, but you can't, and you have to put up with people in charge sometimes that you don't like, and things not going the way you want. But that doesn't mean that you have to be a nasty person. It just means that you didn't quite get your way, I guess. So with that in mind, I guess, anyone out there who is suffering from a loss of a loved one due to COVID-19 or anything else at this time, my love goes out to you, and my prayers go out to you. I don't often pray, but I am now. Yeah, I pray that my family and that my friends and their families and so forth don't have to suffer such a horrendous loss, or so many horrendous losses of life. So stay safe, people. Keep washing your hands. Stay indoors. You know, just keep plugging through. We can do this. See you guys later. Bye.